All right, welcome to a brand new video of the Target Individual Program, Target Individual Experience, Target Individual Program. Heading out about a couple of minutes ago before, I was like, okay, I gotta go. As soon as I said that, the New York Predators Department using their sirens, and then they did the simulated gunshot, the sort of coercive threats of assassination or what have you. A bunch of cowards that they are, trying to get me to stay. All right. Also hurt my back today again. Bending over to sit down. And usually when I'm sitting down, I usually try to sit down. Look. Look. See the light right there? So they had a post office worker, I guess, working in there, driving a black sedan. A black car, I should say. And soon as they saw me walking, then they drove fast there. Now, come on now. It was hilarious. Again, so I know they're using the color black again, right? When I talk about, you see that, right? So when I talk about how they show you things, and I don't know if my phone was able to record, but I did show you guys the light, right? That was there. But yeah, just to show you again and explain to you again what it is they do. You buy. Thank you. She walked past me and bye, as if, in the conversation. Bye, but you're still talking though. Still in the conversation, right? You gotta understand what they do. Understand what they do and how they do it. But anyway, as I was saying, I hurt my back. I sit down, I just bent over slightly. I had to take a muscle relaxer. Took it about half an hour ago because if I didn't take it, I couldn't make it home. So I had to rest and wait for at least half an hour until my back feels a little better. So I'm on my way home. Like I said, Pam, it's funny. When I got there earlier, like I said, sometimes she'll tell me, oh, I gotta look at all those lights up there. Look at all those lights. What the hell are they doing over there? Predators. Okay. So when I got there, usually she'll tell me, well, not usually, but sometimes she'll be like, I'm going out tomorrow, or what have you. Particularly, but when I got there today, she didn't say anything. I saw her, when I got there, I saw her dressed, because I got there around 11, 12 something. And she was like, she had a nail salon appointment. But, and then she was like, leave the keys with the kids. I said, fine. And then she goes, Alyssa has an appointment with her therapist at 11 a.m. tomorrow. I said, well, okay, if you know that, then I said, you know that, don't stay out too late, because then you're not going to make the appointment. I got to tell you, Pamela will always choose her fun over what's best for the children. I can always say, what the hell are you doing over there? Look, hiding behind there. Why are you hiding behind there, girl? I'm trying to do the hand signals and shit. As soon as I turn my phone, she stops. I tell you, bunch of stalkers. And they're very slick too, because they do it like around my, when I talk about how they're being taught and trained and how to do things, particularly understanding your peripheral vision, right? And what it is that they do. Look. Right? And what it is that they do and how they do it. This is what they do. This is how they engage it. So she's there looking at the fact that I have my phone turned, and as soon as I turn my phone, she's like playing with her hair, right? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I see you looking. Look at her. Are you looking in that direction over there? Come on, girl. Please. You know what I'm saying? So what they do is they'll try to do these things, to try to create this adversarial mindset, like, well, I'm gonna stay by Pam, right? Because I want to see what they're gonna do. I'm like, no, I'm not into that shit. Y'all not doing that. Y'all not gonna affect me in that way. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna happen. And But this is what they do. This is the behavior, right? The fanatics. You know, when I talk about the cult mindset or the mob mentality, right? See, when I start using proper terminology and proper jargon to explain what it is that they're doing, the New York Predator Department will use their sirens, right? Oh, no wonder why too. The number 32, I didn't even see that. So why did he come? Oh, that's the reason why he came parking up here. Look, KWC 9932, the silver vehicle right here, the silver gray vehicle right here. That's why she was over here. I didn't even notice that, because he came and he parked right here. You guys can see it in the video, and then he just, you know, that's why she was doing that. Let me tell you, when again, I want you guys to understand that this is orchestrated, that this is purposely done. This is the cult mindset, the religious cult mindset, and you get to see as a TI not only explain to you guys what the New York Predator Department will show up. You see them right here, okay? So this is look at her, look. Look, he pinching his nose. 4465, vehicle number, right? So but yeah, it just, again, it goes to show you that this is what they do. So you can definitely look. You can definitely tell the brainwashing that was done to me when we talk about psychological conditioning, and I talk about those things, operant conditioning, but except what is called dark psychology. Now look, why she's doing that? The red vehicle right here, see that? Red vehicle. So number 32, you know, again, New York Predator Department, her, you know what I'm saying? They'll always send a female. That's to tell you that they're honey trapped. When I talk about being honey trapped, them sending honey traps my way, okay, I'm showing you guys that's what they were doing. That's what they were doing. And why they do it? For money. It's for money, okay? This is how they engage in extortion, blackmail, right? This is a criminal organization. And it is run by the white supremacists and the Sambos, within the churches, within the Predator Police Department across America. And this is how they try to get it. This is how they fund their criminal organization. You know, these criminal organizations will always try to find ways to oh, now you coming over here. Yeah, right. They will always try to find ways to exploit and extort people for money. And you got to understand, when I talk about the mindset that they created within our women, is the churches and these greedy, selfish people. And again, it will lead to the breakdown of society. And how do I know that? I don't have to predict things. You know, I keep saying that back in the word prophet was never meant to be a religious word with any religious meaning. The word prophet meant that people who had the knowledge, they were called prophets, right? And again, you see how the red. I'm wearing red too. How you doing?
Thank you.
Next stop, Church Avenue and Elstree Avenue. Transfers available to the 2 train. This stop is Church Avenue and Elstree Avenue.
Station. The amount of effort that went through within seconds. Unbelievable. Alright, I got the ambulance parked up there. License plate 5432.
Take the seat. Oh, yeah, give me the seat. Oh, which part of yard you come from? Yeah. You're willing to throw down a yard man though. When? We never been. Yeah man, he's a big people. Me a small people. Remember that. Me small like this. As I get smaller, I get bigger.
This stop is Church Avenue and East 42nd Street.
Bird, bomb.
Please exit through the rear door. Next stop, Church Avenue and Troy Avenue. This stop is Church Avenue and Troy Avenue.
So you guys see it. There's a silver gold vehicle making a U-turn.
Nah, you can't tell me to stop.
We are further to the walk. Racist officer crossing the street.
Next stop, Church Avenue and East 48th Street. This stop is Church Avenue and East 48th Street. Church Avenue and Eureka Avenue. Transfer available to 46 SBS. Please exit through the rear door.
Like I alone come from the love
This stop is Church Avenue and Eureka Avenue. Church Avenue at East 52nd Street. Next stop, Church Avenue at East 56th Street. Please exit through the rear door. This stop is Church Avenue at East 56th Street. Please exit through the rear door. Next stop, Church Avenue and Kings Highway. Transfer available to East Avenue. Please exit through the rear door.
Thank you. Have a good night. Ooh. Oh shoot! Look, I'm gonna miss the damn bus. No wonder why he was driving so damn slow. Right? I don't know how much long I'm gonna wait out here. But anyhow, as you guys saw, the New York Predator Department tonight. Right? They're on the sidewalk. They're driving in their vehicles. You see? Now, there's a person at the bus stop there. How come they didn't get on the bus? No, it's weird, right? Like you saying, you got people who will, you're sitting at the bus stop. Are you trying to catch the bus? Like, what are you doing? There's only one bus that stops there, all right? So what are they doing? What are they doing? But oh yeah, you hear the sirens? So when you guys look at this video, I want you to guys look at the rear view mirror. You see the bus driver? And I was talking about how they just get these bus drivers to engage in targeting, right? And subliminal message, stuff like that, hand signals, you know, covering his mouth, stuff like that, you know, then using the color black. And in the New York Predator Department, you see them as they were driving by and such. And again, the number 32, you start to see a lot of that come back again, because again, this is what they do. They will recycle their form of targeting, right? And what it does is what is called reinforcement of the targeting, of the conditioning, right? So you have to, every couple of months, or maybe twice, 3 times a year, yeah, every couple of months, right? So they will reinforce the conditioning, right? So again, a lot of number 32s today, vehicle license plate. You saw the ambulance that was parked up at the bus stop. Again, the number 32 in there, and so forth, right? Because this is what they do. And like I said, whenever Pam has a date, this is what they'll do, you know, because they love to engage in this false narrative, right, of jealousy and stuff like that. And I'm like, let's look at the reality here, all right? Again, you see, I look at the reality, not whatever they're trying to put into my mind or what have you. You know, when I talk about the delusional mindset that they have our people in, when you come into your common sense, when you come into logic and reality, you get to see how they manipulate us. You get to see how they use coercive persuasion programming, mind control. You get to understand what it is that they do. Right, how they create certain narratives, right, and how black men and black women are used against each other to create, so they can accomplish or create certain type of agenda that they're going to implement, right? So they need to do this within the society, within people in society, to move things, to move their agenda forward, right? And remember, I talk about they will always start in the black community, because the black community is who. Black people within the black community is who they use, who they experiment on with these type of programs. And so when you have a person like me or others that comes along who can see their programming, that they can no longer manipulate, right? Then what they are trying to do, again, is to recycle these narratives, right? So you constantly see them using women, honey traps, to kind of remind you of the honey traps that they did before. Again, nothing that happens to you as a TI and me as a TI is coincidental. Everything is orchestrated and planned. And like I talk about, when you look at, certain things that were said to me, like I said, they'll tell me something different to what they're telling these Negro perps, right? So, for example, when they were having me on the remote monitoring, they were digging deep in my memory, right? And it was like we're trying to find the pyramid builders. So when I talk about our DNA, and I talk about how they are deep into DNA research, because DNA contains memory. They understand that. We don't, right? We don't understand that. Our DNA contains memory. They know this, right? So it's the reason why they're constantly looking into our DNA. What are you doing, lady? Look at her. As soon as the siren starts, she gets up and she turns around. I know that she's been sitting in there, right? So look what she does. Right, look what she does. Keep telling you, they're sending it to target me. If I had gotten on the bus, she would have been on the bus. But because I missed the bus, is the reason why she's sitting there. Now you think about it. It's a chilly night. The bus is there. Why won't you get on the bus? Right? Right? Think about it. Right? Let's talk about human behavior. You trying to get home on, to your wherever, to your house, to your family. You're not going to sit up. You're not going to let the bus pass by, because there's no other bus that stops here. Okay. But anyway, just showing you guys again what it is that they do: the stalking, the manipulation, and stuff like that, right? So, like I said, I always talk about that. They will always use the police because, again, it's their false narrative. The Predator police that engage in their false narrative, right? And I talk about how they will exaggerate things when it comes to black people, right? There's always an exaggeration in their mind because they're racist, they're hateful, right? And then they'll try to act as if, like those of us who love ourselves as black people, who love each other as black people, who want what's best for black people, that we're being divisive by speaking the truth. Malcolm said it, right? They'll have you loving the people who lie to you and oppress you, and hating the people who try to speak the truth to you. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. And they'll use reward and punishment, operant condition. This is what they'll do, right? In order to do what? In order to manipulate you. If you look at my video from earlier, you will hear certain words that are being said, right? Still rigid, or what have you. I remember the woman on the bus coming in, she's saying that. Too rigid or something like that, still rigid, some shit like that, right? Because they cannot bring me back into Christianity. And they don't quite, I don't think they quite understand that when you understand the truth, you can never go back to being a lie. Unless you are a Negropean that, you don't want to struggle because, you rather pretend. And what kind of life you living when you're pretending? You're not living a good life, right? But when you know the truth, right, then you can make changes within yourself first. And when the vast majority of people understand the truth and know the truth, then you'll bring change not only to yourself but to each other. So when I talk about black people stop voting for wealthy white politicians, you need to stop voting for wealthy white politicians. Right? Poor white people, you need to stop voting for wealthy white politicians. Vote for people who can identify with your struggle. Right? And make sure that they take no money from corporate America. And as soon as they accept money from corporate America, a corporate donor, you don't vote for them. So you always have at least 3 candidates ready, or even 4 candidates ready that you can replace them with. Right? So that way, if one become compromised, you have others that you can elect to run, or you can run they can run for political office, and you can elect them, because they will compromise people. And so you got to also teach people how not to be compromised, how to be careful if they're going into politics, what to look out for, right? And you got to have good-hearted people who work in certain industries, right? Lawyers, good lawyers, right? Ethical lawyers. That if you are going to politics, you need to hire ethical lawyers. Okay? So that way they cannot manipulate you. See, because black people run for politics and they have no concept of ethics, right? And I shouldn't say not all of them. I shouldn't say black people are Negropeans, right? They don't have a concept of ethics and what they can do and what they can't do. That you can't accept gifts from political donors, right? So those sort of things. Right? This is how you put people in higher political office. That's going to make your life better. But the fact is, like I said, they got us worshiping wealthy people. Right? Look at Trump. Right? They keep lying to you. They keep lying to you, and you keep believing it. Why? Because they use racism. And you got to understand that racism is going to be white America's undoing. That white supremacist mindset is going to be white America's undoing. That includes racist white liberals as well. Okay? Get off of both political parties. They're controlled by big business, the military-industrial complex. That's who controls them. Right? When you see, the sample politicians who are taking money from Jewish lobbyists, right, and saying that that Israel interest is their top priority. What happened to your people? What happened to your communities? What happened to the American people, American communities? They always talk about being concerned about Russia having a president under their control. Well, you have a foreign nation that have this president under their control. Not only that, but you have a foreign nation that is in charge of American intelligence, all our intelligence data, and this Congress does nothing. This Congress says nothing. Right? How could that be? How could that be? Because they're compromised. They're compromised, and that makes Israel an enemy of the United States, not a friend. Right? That means that these politicians are puppets to Israeli government that have engaged in crimes against America and American people. And that's the truth. Because no other nation can go in and tell Israel to go to war with such and such. No. Right? They're not about peace. They are not about peace. And to shout out to my European Jewish brothers and sisters who speak the truth. Shout out to those that understand what is going on. Right? See, my people will look at me and others like me as saying that we're possessing with the demons. Not understanding that, that they have engaged in a war against our community, against those who they see as leaders, against the descendants of people who are leaders, right? Our DNA carries within us our ancestors, okay? And they understand that our DNA carries memories. Right? So when I talk about them trying to use the, searching my subconscious mind we're looking to see how they build the pyramids, I'm like, why? So these are things that I always question in my target and what it is that we're doing. These are the things that these are the things that I always question. You see, because they can't use the reward and punishment theme with me because I don't care. Ain't nothing they can do to me that I can't do to them or anybody else can do to them. Simple as that. Right? Well, or maybe I shouldn't say that, but there isn't anything that they can do to me that other people can't do to them. Maybe I can't do it to them, but I'm going to say there's nothing that they can do to me that other people can't do to them. All right? But there's some things that they can do to me, or there are things that they can do to me, and there's some things I can do to them. So they can come with their subliminal threats or have you. I'm not fazed by that. I'm not fazed by you threatening to assassinate me. I'm not fazed by that, because whoever you send, they're going to get assassinated too, and you. When I say you, meaning the architects of these programs. So whoever they send they will get assassinated too, as well as the people who send them. Simple as that. Like I said, so I have no fear of death. Yeah, and this is when you become awakened and aware and conscious, you have no fear of death. That doesn't mean you don't get scared. That's just a human natural reaction. But what I'm saying is that you're not going to threaten me, and you think that I'm going to become silent or change what it is that I say, stop speaking the truth because you're threatening me. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Okay, you understand that. That is not going to happen. So again, New York Predator Department and your racist predator officers, y'all days are coming. Y'all days are numbered. And like I said, I don't do belief. I know. You can hide shit, you can cover up shit, but eventually the truth is coming out. The truth has been coming out. And when more and more people start listening and understand the truth, your ass is in deep shit. Because like I said, you know, as a person who think, when the people get ready to make change, right, it is going to be within the police department first. And you want to know why? Because when you have racist people or so-called fascists in government, they try to consolidate military power. Right? Not only after political power, it's military power. Right? And they have to graft the police department into the federal agencies and then the military. So what the people have to understand is that you need to change the police department across America. Get rid of these bad people within the police department. Get rid of these bad police officers. And white people, y'all gonna have to realize that y'all racism is making it worse, because like I said, it's going to get worse for y'all too. Because these police officers today, you've already conditioned them. Yes, you white people have a hand in conditioning them into being the power-hungry, dark, triad personality trait that they are today. Because you have allowed them to kill black people, innocent black people, assault black people, and you didn't hold them accountable, right? You didn't hold them accountable. Now they're turned against you and your sons and daughters. And it's going to get worse. Like you said, you need to understand psychological conditioning, right? And what they do within the society. But, you know, they said America is on its way down. You know what I'm saying? And I would say that when the people wake up and particularly white racist people, and get rid of all that hatred, right? And then these hateful bastards in law enforcement who have been engaging in crimes against the black community and black people for decades, once you remove them from those positions, you'll see. Stop voting for wealthy politicians, right? Because as long as you hold on to that belief that you know, you don't want black people to have equality, then guess what? You're not going to have equality. When you believe that you don't want black people to have economic upliftment, then guess what? You're no longer going to have economic upliftment. Right? You know, I always say it's funny how black people we say to each other, "Oh, you know, you're going to get your karma," right? But they never think in their mind about the karma that they're going to receive. Same thing with white people. They never think in their mind that they're going to, and the reason why they don't think like that, because they're in power. I keep saying, karma is not something that happens naturally. Karma is something that's perpetrated on people because you have those who believe they have the power to manipulate people's lives. Right? You need to understand that. This whole concept, if you go and you look at the origin of the word karma, which comes from East Ethiopia, it was never about, you know, something bad happening to a person because, you know, they did something bad. Because if that's the case, you had slave owners who was brutal as hell, and they die wealthy. And then they'll say, well, yeah, the descendants. No, the descendants are still living wealthy. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Well, they're going to get those, and maybe take a couple of 100 years, but dumbass, but you're not going to be around. Your children not going to be around. So stop saying stupid shit like that, right? The only how you make change in this society is if you understand the truth. And then you start looking at the system for what it is, the truth. Right? Stop believing and get to knowing and understanding. Get to acquiring knowledge. Moving forward, black people have to get into the STEM field. We need to push our children into the STEM field. Okay? There should be a mass drive to get young black people into the STEM field. Right? Black parents, when your child reaches 18 years old, you give them a complete health examination, right? When I say complete health examination, meaning you get them brain scan, right? You get them to check their cognitive abilities, right? You get them to do these kind of examinations because they're gonna need to, because going forward, yeah, fuck you. look, fuck you, New York Predator Department, right? So, and the reason why I say this is because that way, when you get that brain scan and everything is normal, okay? And as they get older, when they reach 30 and you start to notice cognitive decline and all these things, they start saying things and you want to call them crazy, go and let them get another brain scan, okay? And if there's changes within their brain, whether it be the white matter, gray matter, right? And if it's significant, then you know that they were attacked. And you yourself should also do the same. Like I keep saying, they are using technology to manipulate us and to damage us and to hurt us in ways that we don't understand. To hurt our cognitive ability, to try to dumb us down. What the hell he doing? Look at these clowns, man. Look at these clowns. Look at these clowns. Look at these clowns, man. Look at these clowns. So you come out here with a suitcase to walk to the corner because we're in the New York Predator Department, right? You hear the sirens, then they come out, do this whole charade, and go back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this shit is ridiculous, yo. But I'm glad I'm able to record it, and I'm glad I'm able to let you guys see and know exactly what it is, because I spent a long time observing, understanding, right? And also, cracking the code, I should say. Cracking the psychological code. Cracking their psyop code. Look, what I say, right? Look. Right? I spent a long time cracking their code, cracking their psychological code, their cognitive warfare narrative and program. And I'm going to expose it because my people need to be free. Right? And like I said, my people need to understand that they need to get rid of this belief system. Or if you decide to keep it, also get knowledge. You'll be better for it. Right? I said it earlier in the Bible. It tells you my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge because they've become too religious, too superstitious. Okay? Now, I want you to remember what I just said. I want you to go to a Bible and see if it says the same thing. If it doesn't, go to an older version of the Bible and see, it'll tell you exactly that. And that will show you how they changed God's words, right? If it's supposed to be God's word, right? Why are they changing it? Look. Right? Look at the silver vehicle, like a New York Predator Department, in an unmarked police vehicle, right? Anyhow, it's gonna take a while for another bus to come. But I knew it. Because I said that bus driver was driving very slow. And so I knew they wanted me to miss the bus, and as you see the woman sitting down here. Because she could have got on the bus. I saw her sitting there. I thought she was going to get up and, I was going to ask her to hold the bus for me, but, hold the door for me. But, like I said, exposing what it is that they do, man. I got to check the bus schedule again, see when the next bus is coming. And also too, they're doing this because there's a lot of reason why, right? Because I charge my phone 100%, so it'll be all right. Yeah, it's a good thing I took a muscle relaxer. $16 minutes, right? So let's see how long I've been standing. I've been standing out here for about maybe 20 minutes now. And I gotta wait another 60 minutes. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to end the video and I'm going to start another video.